In February of 2019, a YouTuber named Trevor uploaded a video titled "Exploring an Abandoned Water Park" to his channel, Trevor Costello. His channel primarily focuses on urban exploration, and for over a decade, he's been documenting footage of himself exploring various abandoned locations across the United States. In this particular video, Trevor, along with his friend Dave, set out to explore an abandoned water park known as the Sengme Oaks Water Park, situated in San Diego, California. As the duo began their exploration, they initially walked around the property to explore the surrounding areas, but also to ensure that no one else was currently present within the premises. Fortunately for the duo, they didn't encounter any security guards or homeless individuals during this time, but they did spot a dog standing near the pool, which was looking directly at them. Although a bit anxious about the dog's presence, the explorers decided to take a chance and started walking in its direction. However, as they were approaching that section, that's when they encountered something that completely changed the course of their exploration.
It was like a big white dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was, but hopefully it's not a mean dog, bro. This could go very wrong if the dog is mean. Oh, I see it back there.
Oh, I see.
Bro, what kind of dog? Oh, it sees us.
Oh, shit.
It's looking over here. Bro, it's right back there in the middle. You see it, guys? That's it's staring right here, bro. Alright, let's go meet that dog and see what happens. Bro, it's pretty sketch if that thing comes running up at us. At least it's not a pit bull, though. Uh-oh, bro. That dog does not look friendly. That other one, that is not the husky. Bro, don't let it come over here. Bro, it's gonna attack us. Uh-oh. Bro, you invited them over.
Hey, puppy. Hey. Hey, puppy.
Hi, doggy. You okay? Oh my god, bro, this is sketchy. I don't want this one to get mad at me.
Dude, that one's f***ing ripped.
No, this one's scary, bro.
This one's got muscles on it.
Luckily for the explorers, neither of the dogs showed any aggression, and they were pretty friendly and playful towards them. The duo spent the next few minutes petting the dogs, and the entire situation was starting to take a very wholesome turn. However, during this time, one of the dogs frantically began to move away and started running, clearly trying to signal the duo towards something. The explorers then started following the dog, and that's when they made a heartbreaking discovery.
Dude, what's in the water over there? Dude, what is that? Oh, there's a dog in there. Oh, bro, we gotta save the dog.
Trevor, you want me to get him?
No way.
Oh, it's a baby. They're like, are you okay?
Holy shit, bro. No way.
You can't believe we just caught it on camera.
There was a dog drowning that we just saved.
Dude, what if we weren't here?
I know.
I like this one.
This one's all happy. He's like, you saved my friend. Look, he's okay. I'm so happy, actually. Holy shit.
Bro, you just...
I'm like shaking a little bit. I'm f***ing shook.
As soon as the explorers followed the pit bull, they spotted another dog that was drowning in the pool. Trevor then immediately took action and carefully rescued the distressed dog before the situation could worsen. Fortunately, the dog was unharmed in the end and was finally able to reunite with its companions. After this courageous act, the duo left the dogs alone and continued to explore the building for almost the next 10 minutes until a group of police officers stopped them. Luckily for the explorers, the officers were understanding and only issued a warning, instructing them to leave the premises. The duo respectfully complied with their instructions and eventually ended their exploration and departed from the facility. Nevertheless, all thanks to Trevor and Dave's kindness and heroic actions, they successfully rescued the dog from the pool and safely reunited it with its pack. Otherwise, who knows what might have happened to the poor dog if it weren't for Trevor and Dave. If you've enjoyed the video so far, it would mean a lot if you considered subscribing. Over 95% of you watching haven't subscribed yet. Your support really helps the channel grow, and in return, I promise to keep bringing you guys the best quality content. Now let's get back to the video. In March of 2024, an American YouTuber named Zach uploaded a chilling video titled "Scary Run-In with a Humanoid in a Storm Drain" to his channel, Into the Void. His channel features a total of only 4 videos, which are all centered around his journey exploring a storm drain tunnel in Colorado Springs. The first 2 videos are an introduction where Zach sits in his car and explains the tunnel's history and how he found the location to his audience. The third video follows him as he ventures into the woods to locate the tunnel. The fourth and final video shows him finding the tunnel and eventually entering it to begin his exploration. The initial minutes of this video are pretty standard, with Zach engaging with his viewers as he navigates deeper into the underground tunnel system. Zach then continues exploring and reaches a particularly dark part of the tunnel. However, as soon as he stops at that section, that's when he encounters something truly unexplainable.
Hello? Anyone here? This is the spot where it closes off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was. I need to take a breather. What the f? Nope. I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
As soon as Zach heard the scream, he initially froze and stared in the direction of the sound to determine its source. However, after constantly hearing the noise originating from the end of the tunnel, he immediately turned and desperately started running in the opposite direction. Fortunately for Zach, he managed to escape the underground tunnel without sustaining any major injuries. To make matters even more disturbing, Zach later mentioned that he had spotted a mysterious creature at the end of the tunnel and described it as completely pale, appearing sickly and emaciated. He also noted that the body had a somewhat human form, and the face resembled that of a horse, but without a pronounced snout. Zach found the entire encounter incredibly strange and compared the creature to the Pope Lick monster, or a skinwalker. However, based on everything Zach experienced inside the tunnel, particularly the loud growling noise, it seems very unlikely that he actually encountered either of these mythical creatures. It's more likely that the noises were either caused by a mountain lion or a bobcat.
What the fuck?
Given the nature of the scream, it seems more likely that the noises were made by a large cat rather than a supernatural being. And also considering the fact that Zach was exploring a tunnel in Colorado, this theory becomes even more plausible, especially since both mountain lions and bobcats are native and present throughout the region. Plus, the animal could potentially even be at the end of the tunnel, which could explain why the scream had an extremely eerie and echoey tone to it. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide whether the noises were merely caused by an animal or if it was something far more sinister. In October of 2023, a YouTuber named Sergey uploaded a chilling video titled "A Terrible Incident in an Abandoned Hospital" to his channel, The Curious Schultz. Sergey's channel is dedicated to urban exploration, and he often uploads footage of his adventures exploring various abandoned locations across Europe. In this particular video, Sergey decided to explore an abandoned mental asylum located somewhere in Ukraine. As Sergey began his exploration and stepped inside the building, he immediately mentioned that the structures inside were in a terrible condition, with deteriorating walls, damaged ceilings, along with debris and trash scattered throughout. Disturbingly, some sections were actively falling apart, making it seem like the entire structure was on the verge of collapse. During this time, he also noticed several signs of recent activity by squatters or homeless individuals. But fortunately for him, he didn't hear or see anything that indicated anyone was currently inside the building with him. Sergey then continued exploring and decided to check out the upper levels. However, as he was approaching the stairs, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse for Sergey.
Надеюсь, тут никого нет. Ой, пентаграммы, смотрите, какие. Опять ленты. Думаю, вы знаете, если такие ленты используются, когда какое-то преступление происходит. Так, ребята, буду идти сейчас на второй этаж. Так, там кто-то есть. Слышите? Бля, там кто-то есть. Там кто-то есть, сейчас спрячусь. Там кто-то что-то ходил или двери открывал. Слушайте. Вот тут кто-то что-то делает сверху. Блять. Неужели эта съемка закончится, так и не начавшись, ё-моё? Какие-то молитвы проклятые, не знаю. Ладно, ребята, я 15 минут подожду. Может, кто-то уйдет отсюда, выйдет, я не знаю. Ух ты, ёб твою мать! Блядь. Туда побежали вроде.
As soon as Sergey heard the noises, he immediately left the stairs and started walking in the opposite direction. During this time, he heard even more noises originating from the same direction. He ultimately concluded that someone might be on the upper levels and was responsible for the sounds. He then decided to step outside the building for a while to get a different vantage point to spot the individual and also to see if they would leave the building. Unfortunately for Sergey, he didn't spot anyone or anything during this time. He eventually decided to return to the building and go upstairs to investigate, regardless of any potential presence.
Никто не вышел за полчаса. Видите, тут, наверное, кто-то жил, какая-то пленка сверху. Короче, я буду, наверное, идти уже туда. Мой кто-то там был, куда-то ушел, но, блядь, меня очень смущают эти ленты. Видите? Шмотки какие-то. Запах какой-то тяжелый. Эти ленты, знаете, когда какое-то преступление происходит. Вроде никого уже нет. Вроде ушел кто-то там был. Надеюсь, никто ничего на голову мне не скинет. Опа. Слышите? Сука. Звук, как будто кто-то дверь открыл ручкой. Никого. Что за... Слышите сверху? Кто-то ходит, блядь.
After hearing the noise for the second time, Sergei immediately went downstairs and listened intently to identify their source. He eventually composed himself and went toward the commotion to investigate. For the next few minutes, he cautiously walked through that section, but despite searching everywhere, he once again found nothing. By this point, Sergei had absolutely no idea who or what was responsible for causing the noises, and he started contemplating whether he should continue exploring or simply just leave the building. However, as he was trying to figure out his next move, that's when he encountered something once again.
Что-то было, блядь. Собачий лай. Еще собаки на заброшке не хватало, блядь. Голоса женские были. Так, ребята, 3-й этаж. Там были люди какие-то. Женщина прошла и ушла. Что она тут делала, я не знаю. Может быть, тут наркоманили они. Тут кто-то из них жил. Ну, как тут можно жить, когда тут очень холодно? А вот эти... Слышали крик? Эта херня трещит, и сверху кто-то орал.
It's evident that a scream that oddly resembled that of a woman was echoing through the building. Sergei, upon hearing the noises, immediately started walking in its direction to investigate the source. But disturbingly, every time he heard the woman's voice and went towards its apparent source, it would either stop or originate from a completely different part of the building. By this point, Sergei had been completely overwhelmed by the constant voices and loud bangs that seemed to originate from all corners of the building. But despite this, he realized he hadn't yet explored the top floor, and began to suspect that the source of the disturbances might be located there. He then decided to go upstairs to investigate. However, as soon as he reached that section, that's when he encountered something that sent him running out of the building.
Так, ребята, орут какие-то, не знаю, дикари. Я постараюсь уже, наверное, буду уходить отсюда. Пойду гляну на верхний этаж. Опа! Кто это? Блядь, сука! Мы, блядь, эту хуйню видели. Иди сюда! Да ты, блядь, отъебись! В подвал, блядь. Там, блядь, вход.
To Sergei's absolute shock, as soon as he followed the noise and went to the top floor, he was startled to see a man at the end of the room. Disturbingly, the man even started running towards Sergei and began throwing rocks at him. Sergei, absolutely terrified for his life, immediately started running away from the attacker and began approaching the exit. Fortunately for him, he managed to outrun the individual and made it out of the building without any harm. It's still unclear who the man was, or most importantly, what his intentions were, along with whether the attacker was somehow responsible for the screams that Sergei heard earlier. But based on everything he encountered during his visit, the man was most likely a squatter or a homeless individual who didn't want anyone inside the building. And based on the attacker's actions that day, it's safe to say that he was probably up to no good, and he most likely had some very sinister intentions. Nevertheless, Sergei was extremely fortunate that day that he was able to outrun the attacker, and he managed to escape the potentially life-threatening situation without sustaining any major injuries.